Hello, chat. It is currently 7 o'clock, and basically, I was supposed to make the video for the races, which I almost forgot about.
Looks like your soul is being cast into darkness for eternity.
This is going to be the video for the races, and then I'm also having some good news. We're about to finish up the opening, and we just got started on episode 1 of the shoot. It might take a while, but be looking forward to a trailer. The comic is going to be out soon. We just need a few more backgrounds made. You guys are going to notice there's an update in quality for those who have seen like the previous things. We updated a lot of the art style and a lot of the backgrounds and stuff, so what you might have seen before, like the old opening I put out, I actually put that out to trick y'all. There was an event in the community server that nobody did the voice acting event. Like, what's wrong with y'all? So we're gonna talk about the races now. So we got Aetherions. As you can tell, Aether is usually associated with angel sky stuff, so yes, Aetherions are angels, and they're practically born with the ability to use Shin, so it's not really like trained to use it or get a scroll to use it, which I think I've explained to y'all that you have to get a scroll in order to use Shin. If you don't know about that, you can go watch the last video and I explained how Shin works. But basically, they're like angels, so they're pretty much born with a stat that's like they inherit Shin. Now, there is a specific type of Shin they specialize in, but they pretty much can be born with like any type of Shin power. And another thing about the Aetherions is that they have a sub-race of like Guardians. So basically, they have like galactic skin on them. And it's like a yellow galactic like star pattern. You can see it when we put it on there. It's actually going to be so fire. You're going to be like, how did you make something so fire? Don't ask me. We did a lot of like experimenting with green screen stuff. And now we know how we're going to incorporate that. So y'all are definitely going to see how cool they look. I'll try to get some art out for it. I'll put a piece of art up here. Look at this. Right here. This is how they look right here. That's how they look. Now the griefers, right? Like, that's just a name for demons, bro. So we named the demon race griefers because it just makes sense. I feel like it may change here in a bit. It might change. I'm not gonna lie. But griefers are basically the demons, right? They usually specialize in like shins that have to do with like the dark shins and fire, flame shins, lava shins, stuff like that. Another thing about them, when they harness all that dark shin, they made something called contorters, which is their subrace. So contorters are like the regular demons, but they're like, they don't have any intelligence. They run around, they're almost like Titans from Attack on Titan. So think about that, like the abnormals.
Files got corrupted here, so gonna elaborate on Aetherian's subrace.
So the Guardian's specific role is to basically, they're like the guardians of the Aetherians. That's pretty much all they do. They guard that. Whatever orders the Aetherions give to the Guardians got to do what the Aetherions say. It's pretty self-explanatory if you ask me. Omega race. The Omega race are actually just a bunch of blacksmiths, and they were basically a hybrid of the demon race and the angel race. Now the Omegas, mostly like fire type based, but they're like evolved. So basically, how I explained how Shin can be evolved in the last video, if there's an element like fire that's close to solar, if they train physically, they can upgrade it to the solar level if they start with fire. But usually they have two types that they can use. So galactic, which is crazy. I know that's busted, but it's crazy. And solar Shin. So then we have their subrace, which is called the primes. And the primes are usually like in complexion of Omegas. But they have a flaming planet for a head, or like a black hole for a head. They're created from the solar Shin. It's not like how the griefers make the contorters out of like their dark Shin and all that. What they do is they actually physically build bio-type humanoid creatures with like planetary heads. They're actually really strong. They're like, think about the Nomus from My Hero Academia. They're kind of like that. Now, the next race we have on the table is the Koinuk. Basically, this is like human-cat hybrid. Don't ask me if I made this. I'm not a freak like the other authors are, okay? One specifically, I'll put his name right here. Go subscribe to him. Anyway, the Koinuks are a mix between a race called the Mammies and human. I know, that's hella freaky. Again, wasn't my idea. Basically, they have the traits of a human and the traits of like a mammy. Since mainly human races consist of clans, they can have two types of Shin maybe. You know, they might get a little mix. One could be part of the Light Clan. You might see a few Koinuks with a fusion. Okay, and a fusion is basically when someone is using more than one type of Shin. So they got like Dark Shin, Light Shin, like Fire Shin and Malice Shin, something like that. It's pretty unique, you know. Now allow me to elaborate on the Mammies. Again, not my idea, okay? So these are just like animal people. They have retractable claws and stuff like that. Stuff that's un-Shin related, because anyone can learn Shin. Yin, which y'all are gonna find out about too. I'm actually gonna elaborate on Yin in the next video. The Mammies are like a human animal type hybrid. Depending on if it's a cat, dog, who types. I think it's only, you know, if it's a cat or dog, you know, dogs, they usually have the bigger jaws, the bigger chompers, and then the cat. Now, what we've all maybe haven't been waiting for. The human race. Man, I love the human race. Psych. Y'all know about humans. So usually the human race in this series consists of a bunch of clans. One of the clans that is confirmed is the Light Clan. The Light Clan, they specialize in light Shin. Different clans might specialize in certain types of Shin. And that's basically what they get their stuff founded on. Humans can get really strong because they're humans. Now that is pretty much all of the races. Now, the part you're waiting for. There will be racism, chat. There will be slavery. That's crazy. There will be oppression in the series, chat. There will be meanness. Alright, all that aside, thank y'all for watching. Hope to see you on the next one. Please hit that bell and subscribe. And by the next video, like I said, I am going to talk about Yin, which is a power system that we just incorporated, the opposite of Shin. It's like an anti-magic for Shin, you know, Black Clover type. That's actually one of the main inspirations for it. So I'm going to go over that in the next video, and we'll see y'all later.